Welcome back, and now joining us here in the studio we have Amar Nagaram, former CEO of Myntra and the visionary co-founder of Virgio, that's known for its AI-driven trend mapping, on-demand production and strong commitment towards sustainability. Founded in 2022, Virgio is a direct-to-consumer fashion tech startup which sells women's Western wear and promotes circularity and sustainable practices. Amar is speaking to us about the brand making its foray in UAE market, learnings from India, and how Virgio prioritizes efficiency in the supply chain, works directly with ethical manufacturers, and focuses on minimizing waste throughout the process. Dubai and UAE is such a market where there are fairly established fast fashion brands, much larger than the India market with its small culture, and even online shopping is big in these markets. So how do you plan to create a niche for yourself, and what are some of the learnings from the India market?
When we started this journey of creating a good fashion, also known as sustainable fashion, there were skepticism in the market, is India ready for sustainable fashion? But our approach to sustainable fashion was always, it's not just about natural fabrics, it's also about trendy fashion, affordable fashion, which also happens to be sustainable fashion. And that's the purpose with which we started this journey, and that's the kind of conviction we had coming into the market, that when you have a product which solves the immediate need state and also serves a larger purpose, there will always be audience. So Indian consumers actually reacted to our brand much better than what we thought initially, and that's the momentum we are carrying forward to other markets as well. One of the best learnings we had in India was when you offer a trendy quality product at an affordable price with a purpose much larger than contemporary brands in the market, you would definitely stand out and you will be acquiring quality customers. Today, we have customers who have already bought 5 times or more from us in last 10 months. That's by any means, for a single brand, a big achievement in the first year of operations.
And how do you strike that balance between affordability and sustainability? Because it's typically said that, if it's sustainable, it's slow fashion, it's expensive.
If I actually take a step back and look at the macro picture of fashion industry, your pricing is a function of both the inventory that you can sell and the inventory you cannot sell. So what happens in fashion industry, you take a bet on a future and you make a lot of inventory and you will be left with a lot of unsold inventory if any of your bets go wrong.
Sure.
That's a fundamental thing we are going after using technology. On one side, what we are looking at is what to make. We also use technology to when to make and how to make.
Sure.
So our size of unsold inventory is almost zero. So all the savings are being translated into a very competitive pricing for our consumers, which is the reason why we have probably for the first time, there's a sustainable brand which is not only stylish but affordable.
And there is also AI that you use in this trend mapping. And how does AI enable you, this sustainable approach, in some of the Virgio products and offerings?
See, sustainability for the longest time have been defined as a fashion that is made of natural fibers, natural fabrics. Because the story has always been limited to landfills and how this landfill can decompose without staying in the earth for too long. We are fundamentally questioning that definition of sustainability. In fact, there's a lot of pre-consumer waste that is made, which is the unsold inventory. We are investing into how we can reduce that unsold inventory, and the fundamental reason behind the unsold inventory is the fashion brands take a bet on future. And in that amount, and that is because of the traditional supply chains that exist in the market today, right? A traditional supply chain takes anywhere between 4 to 8 months. So you're technically taking a bet on what people will wear 8 months from now. And there are, in this age of social media, a trend can actually happen overnight. So what you make today might be completely relevant 8 months later. So that's where we started looking at trends, and we also started investing into a very agile supply chain. So more than a fashion brand, we are a supply chain company. We invest into technology that can help us spot the trend. We are not predicting a trend. There's a difference. Predicting a trend is almost not possible at this point of time because there are too many signals out there in the market. It's no longer the fashion is influenced by a handful of designers or institutions. Anybody on social media can influence
Absolutely.
it. We are investing into technology which can spot this trend literally right at the time it's happening. And we also have a supply chain that we have built which can react to our demand. So what happens between spotting a trend and making on demand is we put out all the styles on our website with almost no inventory. Let the consumers come and buy, then our supply chain will start making it. It's almost like we're making it after an order is placed.
Can you give us an example? Because this is very interesting. Can you give us an example of spotting a trend and, you know, it being a hit on the platform?
Sure. There was a denim dress that Kylie Jenner wore
Okay.
to one of her brunches, which started trending on Instagram. Our systems actually picked it up, and we made a denim dress. And there is a part in between where you also have to engineer the demand.
Yeah.
So one of the celebs in the country, Mauni Rai, wore the same dress to her brunch, and then people were able to connect the dots. So this happened in Los Angeles, and a week later, this is happening in Mumbai, and Virgio seems to have it. And we have sold over 10,000 of those dresses.
Wow.
And none of that was made upfront.
Yeah.
We just kept making it when the orders kept coming in. So that's how. Today, if you go to our website, most of the styles are sold out because we don't have any inventory and we're only limited by the amount of fabric we get, which is a good state to be in.
Yeah.
Now, the scale is giving us to go take bets on fabrics now instead of garments, because betting on garments is like betting on a perishable good. If that style goes out of trend, then you're left with unsold inventory, whereas a fabric can be repurposed across multiple styles.
What were some of the challenges in having a sustainable supply chain?
The first thing and the foremost thing is finding the right kind of manufacturers. A lot of factories in the country do not even have proper certifications, right? What they show on picture to what they really are, they're completely different. So I personally went to every factory we signed up for to make sure there is no exploitation of labor, the working conditions are better, they do what they claim they do, and their sourcing is very well documented. And today, we're proud to say that all our factories are SEDEX certified. Right? We work with those. That has been the biggest challenge. The next challenge is the traceability of fabrics. Wherever the style commands a particular kind of drop, it requires synthetic fibers like poly, right? But we are very sure, I mean, we've been very sure from day one that we will not use virgin polyester. We only use recycled polyester. To a naked eye, you cannot say the difference between a virgin polyester and a recycled polyester. You need a certification. A lot of suppliers in the country did not even have certification. They used to say, this is recycled poly. But how do we know? We have to just take their word.
Yeah.
So we had to push back on that and got some suppliers certified. So this whole process of changing the industry to the standards already established in the industry has been a big challenge. But now that we are at a position where our scale is helping them go do these certifications, because now they see a business coming to them in a very sustainable fashion, even for them.
Yeah.
So it's all working out as a flywheel now.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Amar. Thanks for joining us today in the studio.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
It is time for a short break. On the other side, we have Abhishek Desai, Vice President, Brand Operation and Category Leader Grooming, P&G India, speaking about 20 years of P&G's flagship CSR program, Shiksha.